Why is the mascot of Vlasic Pickles a bird? Vlasic Pickles are pickled cucumbers, aka pickles. The company began with Frank Vlasic, who moved from Bosnia in 1912 to the then and forever paradise on earth, Detroit. To make ends meet, he started a dairy business selling milk and cheeses. It wasn't until his son Joe took over the business that in 1937 they started catering to the growing Polish population in town by offering a hot new item they loved: pickles. The items became so popular that in 1942, to keep up with the demand, they started jarring them to sell them in a more shelf-stable manner, which became even more popular to the point that the company cut the cheese and focused exclusively on pickles. The company grew and grew, and by 1970, 1 in every 4 pickles in the US was a Vlasic. The other 3 turned out to just be salty cucumbers in disguise. They now bill themselves as America's #1 pickle, but the question remains, what business does a bird have with a pickle? As I ask every bird that steals mine from my picnic. In the 70s, the birth rate in the US was dropping. And what represents the hopeful arrival of new babies? Storks, which is the type of bird the Vlasic mascot is. They introduced him in 1974 as a nod to fertility being on people's minds, and going hand in hand with that, they sold the one thing pregnant women stereotypically crave most of all: pickles. So they cashed in on old tropes and the zeitgeist of the moment, and Vlasic Pickles aroused the nation from its sexual slumber with their stork mascot who talks like Groucho Marx. And if you're looking for a baby name, his name is Jovny, a totally normal name for a totally normal bird from a totally normal ad campaign. My review? I've had a lot of pickles in my day, and these are nowhere near the best and nowhere near the worst. They're a dependable, solid, at-home pickle option, which is what you'd expect from America's dominant grocery store pickle. The flavoring is good and the sourness is right, but my big problem is that for a pickle that prides itself on its crunchiness, it is severely lacking in that department. More snappy than crunchy, so my rating is 3 out of 5 gherkins.